Now, a leading critic of the Interstate Bridge Replacement project, the IBR project, who describes this project as a light rail project in search of a bridge. Right, this is Representative John Lee of Vancouver. He says this multi-billion-dollar exploding in price uh, price tag for this project is really a boondoggle. And I spoke this morning with Representative John Lee about his criticisms of the project, not just the price tag, but basically saying, okay, this thing might now cost 14 to 15 billion dollars now with construction. Most recent estimates say to begin somewhere in probably 2028. But tolls are going to be implemented on the old bridge as soon as the first, shovel of dirt is turned on the project. He's also very concerned about what those tolls will eventually look like. And then complicating all of this, he reminds us, is a vote taken by Oregonians a week ago today when they repealed a recent gas tax hike and other fees that were implemented by Oregon lawmakers and Oregon Governor Tina Kotek.
On May 19th, 83% of Oregonians, every single county in the state of Oregon, rejected that tax increase for transportation, gas tax and all of that. And tolling is prohibited throughout the state of Oregon other than the I-5 Interstate Bridge. Doesn't mean they couldn't come back later on, but from a standpoint of the I-5 bridge, the IBR, that becomes a challenge on the Oregon side. It is permitted, but Oregonians clearly don't want to pay the tolls.
Now, Representative Lee believes there's no justification at all for putting light rail across the new bridge, which is in large part the reason why the price tag has gone so high. And he also says that the current toll estimates, which we are seeing, that'll be anywhere from like $1.55 to $4.40 one way across the bridge. So in theory, you'd pay that if you want to get back home. You'd pay that twice in a day. But he says that really isn't the full picture because there are estimates now that show and laws that have been passed that give, at least on the Washington side, a lot of leeway for increasing that toll. Here's part of that conversation with Representative Lee.
In that the language that allowed tolling on the I-5 Interstate Bridge said you can charge up to the highest toll allowed in the state of Washington. So when the Transportation Commission approved tolling increase from $10 to $15, the maximum toll they could charge on the IBR became $15 instead of $10. Now they're talking about, at some point in the future, don't know when, but we need to increase it to $18. Guess what? They can come back and charge up to $18 per toll. The I-5 Interstate Bridge project should be equated to the California high-speed rail project. It is an out-of-control transportation project that is going to deliver zero, absolutely nothing. If I say, picture the California high-speed rail, you get a picture of a rail line that suddenly drops 100 feet to the ground with no train on it, no tracks on it, nothing done, and the project is $100 billion unfunded, behind schedule, all of that. The IBR is just cut that by tenfold, 15-fold. It's the same thing. They including a $3.5 billion light rail that is 23% of the whole project. The whole project has exploded from $3.2 billion to now potentially $17-18 billion. And it is there primarily to fund light rail coming from Portland into Vancouver. Almost nobody wants it. It will remove almost zero cars off the highway. They're going to toll it to create a new source of revenue. The tolling is going to cause 40 to 50,000 vehicles to divert. It is a total mess, and it is a ripoff of the whole state of Washington.
Clark County today put up a poll after this latest price tag came out for the project. And here are the results from that. It was admittedly a pretty small sample. They only got about 226 respondents before they closed the poll. But worth noting that more than 49% of the folks that voted said scale this project to match available funding, which of course we don't have the available funding on this now. 7.5%, only 17 votes. People said keep the current scope and seek more funding. And another more than 41% of the votes said pause the project until costs are clearer. So a lot out here on this and a lot still to come because we're still 2 years away from this project potentially breaking ground and when tolls would begin on the old bridge to pay for the new bridge, which for now does include light rail. That's it for today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily. Check out the Center Square Washington page for more stories like this. As always, appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you again on Wednesday.